Hey guys, what's going on? It's Reflix 66 back with another quick guide video. Today we're going over looting dorms with keys. If you guys check above, you'll see a link that pops to my looting dorms without keys. It shows you how to farm the keys up, how to get into all the jackets and everything that's accessible without keys here in dorms and customs. Today we're going over what keys to bring with you when you are going to loot dorms. Before you start doing this run, or when you first start doing this run, if you're trying to make extra money, I suggest getting a sick case for your keys and a docs case for extra loot that you're going to be picking up in the raid. The reason you do this is because the docs case can hold a lot of things that a sick case can't, and because you sacrifice 2 spots in your secure container to be able to access another 16 spots of loot. So you end up gaining a lot more loot, and even if you die, you still pull out a ton more loot this way. But we're going to start up with explaining the difference in these keys. When you're looking at your dorms keys, anything that has the blue tag on it is for the 2-story building. Anything that's just a standard key without a tag on it is for the 1-story building. So we're going to start off in 2-story across the first floor. We're going to start out going in the front door and turning to the left. So this is 2-story dorms here. The first key that we're going to use is the guard desk key. This can be found in scavs, pockets, and in bags. Also, you can find it in filing cabinets. You can find it in jackets. There used to be a static spawn, but I haven't seen it there in a long time, so I don't know if they removed that or not. It used to be in the dead body in the bathroom over there, but I don't think it still spawns there. But anyways, inside of here, you can get a key 104 right here. You got the weapon case, ammo case, magazine can spawn right here on the desk, and then another ammo case right here. You come out, there's loose loot, and guys, remember, there's tons of loot in here that we talked about in the other videos, but today we're talking about just focused on the locked rooms. So the next one we're gonna look at is dorm room 110. There's another locked room right here, dorm room 110. Inside of 110, you're going to have loose loot spawn right here on this counter. Loose loot can spawn on this bed and a safe right here. So we were talking about keeping the docs case. I call mine the loot sock because it's just full of loot. But the reason we want to keep that is because there's a lot of items that you can put inside of there that are secure even if you die. So now we're going to go into 114, which is directly across from 110. Inside here, you got a med case, a computer, and down here's a safe. Now these safes are extremely valuable because they have a lot of loot in them normally. We're not getting very much luck right now, but that not to discourage you, because I guarantee you'll see something by the end of this raid. So we're coming back out the front door, 2-story, and we're going to go over to the short side of 2. So when I say short side of 2, I'm saying the short side of the 2-story building, and we're going to go underneath the staircase in here. And this is called short 2 because there's a fence that stops you from going through. There's 2 different rooms right here. There's room 104. And room 105. Room 105 is more important than room 104. They're right inside the door on the right. There's a safe. You can get food and water spawns, and then items for your hideout all the way in the back on the ground. We'll check out what's in this safe real quick. So as we're looting this stuff, we're going to find things like Veritas picks that you can put in your docs case, and then also the flash drives or the military flash drives can go in there. Diaries can go in there, and all your money. So if we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 spots of loot taken up by these 2 spots here, and we're only 3 safes in. There's still an additional 2 safes on the other side. Now we're gonna come out. This is room 104. Inside room 104, you got 2 jackets on the right and a toolbox on the left. This room's not great, but it's a nice little bit of extra loot. It's good to keep that on there, especially if you're running a sick case full of keys. You have plenty of room for it. Again, guys, this is room 104 and room 105. There's blue handle keys, dorm room 104, dorm room 105. Next, we're going to go over to 3-story dorms. Now remember, 3-story dorms are the keys that do not have the blue handles on them. So we're going to go out and run over to the 3rd floor, and we're going to start at the end of it that I call the ice cream end. This is a nice little ice cream shop right here. If you go inside, you'll see little freezers. If you go inside the 1st floor here, this is ice cream side of 3-story dorms. So once you're inside, remember you got jackets in these doors, but we're not doing all these jackets. I'm just showing you guys. If you come all the way down to the end here, we have 2 keys on the 1st floor that we use for extra loot. As you can see, this is dorm room 108. You'll go inside. There's not a ton of loot in here, but there is an extra filing cabinet that you can pull into, and a computer block on the right hand side. From here, we're going to run down this elbow in 1-story, or in the 1st floor 3-story, to room 118. Inside of room 118, you can get loose items that spawn on the bed. And then if you look in here, there's 2 jackets that you can loot that can get you additional loot, including keys. You guys know the stuff that spawns in jackets by now. And a lot of that stuff will be able to fit into your loot sack. Now we're going to go up to the second floor. You can see there's 4 keys that I recommend for the second floor. There's 204, 214, 218, and 220. All of these keys are pretty useful. We're going to go to all these rooms real quick. 204 and 214 have safes, and 218 and 220 have additional loot. So let's head up to the second floor real quick. Now we're coming up the middle stairs. Now the low end numbers are on that end. The high end numbers are on the wall side. So ice cream is the low numbers. Wall side is the high numbers. So we're going to start at 204. So 204 is right here on the other side of the bed. You open this up, and inside there's a gun locker with a safe on top. So here's our gun locker. You pop the bottom. I don't really find too much down here, but if you open the top, it's the same as any other safe. It can have rare items, valuables, all that fun stuff. So we are not getting super lucky on the loot this run, but we're going to go ahead and keep checking. You know, this is pretty much worst case scenario, but we're still coming out ahead, you know, a good bit of money. So we're running down to the other end. Remember, guys, the numbers go up as we go down the hallway. We're going down to room 214. This is room 214. The floor is a little knocked over right there. You go inside, you can find loose cash on the bed and on the counter. And inside the safe is another, you know, rare item spawn. Hey, there we go. Loot's starting to get a little bit better. We got a streamer item, a watch, and again, put the cash into our loot sack. Then we're going to come out, and we're going to look down the elbow on the second floor of 3-story dorms. Down here, we talked about our keys. We have room 218 and 220. Both of these keys go to doors right here. 218 is the first one. 220 is right here. So we'll hop into 220 real quick. When you open it up, 220 has a duffel bag. I can have loose loot on the ground, medical items, and then a jacket over here. This is also a quest key. You'll need to pick up some items for a different task in here. But then if you come over here to 218, you can get weapons. So if you're running low on guns and happen to have a 218 key, you can pop this open. A lot of times AKs will spawn right here on the ground. You can get different attachments and magazines. And then always check for your food and hydration items all over the beds. But that's it as far as the keys for the second floor that I recommend bringing. For the third floor, the only key that I suggest for the third floor is marked key. It's hard to get. To be honest, if you happen to find one while you're doing jacket runs, that's great. The other ways to find marked keys is by getting the 3 reserved marked keys. If you get RBBK, RBPKPM, and RBVO, I think, you trade those 3 keys in for the dorm's marked room key. But we'll run up there and check marked room real quick to see what we pull out of this raid. So to get to marked room, I don't know if it says it on the key. If you look at it, it says dorm room 314. So like we talked about before, the low numbers are on the ice cream side. The high numbers are on the wall side. So that means that's the low numbers. 14 is going to be down this way. If you have a marked room key, you're going to come all the way down here to the end. It's going to be this door with all the crazy calligraphy and graffiti. Now, when you guys are going to open marked room, a little trick is to make sure to check here and here for players before you put your key in the door. Because a lot of times people will camp there. As soon as you get the key in the door, they'll hop out and start shooting at you. Once you're inside, you'll find a lot of weapons in here. Inside here, you can find docs cases. You can find key tools, injector cases, various different valuable items, as well as different streamer items you need for Kappa. But this one is the hardest key to get out of the bunch. The rest of them should be relatively cheap on flea market after a couple weeks into the wipe. But guys, just to recap a couple different things. If you look up, there's going to be a little panel pop up above that shows you how to get a docs case and how to get a sick case. If you save up these items while you're farming and going around on loot runs, you should be able to buy them pretty quickly. You can see just in those safes that we looted, and I'm telling you, this is some of the worst loot I've got out of them. We still got a good bit of loot just out of those 5 safes. But guys, if you have any questions, comments, rude remarks, be sure to leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you have any questions directly for me, you can catch me live on Twitch, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, nearly every day. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you need any additional help, feel free to come by the stream on Twitch. Check out our Discord at toc.gg/Discord. Stop by our website at tarkovhelpline.com or leave a comment down below.